So Brigg, I can teach you those dance moves.
Okay, because I dance even worse than you do.
I don't think that's
Those will be cut out of the
I don't even think that's even possible, man.
That's true.
That is.
It's more just like it's not really dancing. It's kind of just a flopping around. Yeah.
And biting my lip. Oh. Should we do this?
Right. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hey, PDQ A.
That's Lex. That's Brigg. That's me.
Yeah. Questions?
PDQ A.
Hi, awesome people.
That's us.
In PDQ Inventory, is there a way of creating a dynamic collection for a group of computers where the current users are in a specific AD user OU? Thanks in advance, Ian M.
So we collect computer information,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Not necessarily user information.
User information on computers.
Yeah,
So we'll collect
okay.
like current users and things like that, but we don't actually collect like Active Directory users.
So I've got the last login on a computer,
Yep.
but that doesn't associate with an OU.
No.
Okay. So, no?
No.
No. I guess that's the way to say it, just because we don't collect the Active Directory
Yeah,
information.
'cause we don't actually collect the Active Directory user
Information.
the OUs that users are part of. Now, what you could do, and I was thinking about this.
Is this something we could show?
Yeah, well, it's not something that we can really show. But what you could do is you could create a security group that contains the computers and then put them in that OU. I don't know. Like,
Well,
Chris, there's really not really...
That's a stretch
I
there.
don't know.
Chris, you got any ideas, man?
Off the top of my head, no.
Yeah.
This might be something you might maybe post to the forum to see if anybody has any ideas or something that I can think of.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. That's a good question.
Nothing comes to mind easily by
No.
any means. There's no easy way about that at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, and we do. There's information that we collect. Like when you, I mean, obviously, when we go to create a new dynamic collection, and we're seeing the computer, and we've got we've got AD descriptions in here. We've got AD that information, and then we also have like current user, the domain, and things like that. But we don't have anything that like specifically for OU.
Can I try it for a second?
Yeah,
I'm just going
absolutely.
to put that in the middle, man. You're doing so good. Just make it easy to read.
All right, cool. So it's just one of those things where we do collect some information, but our products are very machine centric. We don't do user land, we don't do users, but they're all machines based. Typically, what I've always done in the past is if I have users that are for a specific machine, I just put the computers and the users within like a parent OU and then sub OU those out. But I don't.
There's no dynamic real way to do it.
Not really. I'm not recommending that you change the way that your AD structure set up or schema set up at all, but it's one of those things where it's just like we just don't collect that kind of user information.
Yeah. So once again,
Yep.
no.
Sorry.
Yeah. What else we got?
Dear Shane, who is watching, and Lex.
Nice
and
catch,
Brigg.
Kelly. I don't have a beard, man. I don't have a beard.
Okay, here's a novel for you. In PDQ Deploy, I've set the deployment copy mode to pull. I want clients to pull the files from the closest location and save bandwidth consumption. Unfortunately, DFS is not an option. The domains are not federated. What is the best way to handle this? Can we define 2 or more repositories pointing to different UNCs? I was thinking about setting up a robocopy script between the main office and the remote locations and changing the way that the clients resolve the server name. Thanks, Alexandre M.
Alexander.
Yep, and how you want to do that is exactly how it should be done. Basically, if you need help with this, definitely reach out.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. So basically, you're going to set up 2 file shares. You're going to robocopy from one to the other.
Yes.
And then when you deploy to this group, you change your repository to this guy, and they get it local. And then when you deploy to this group over here, you change your repository to this UNC, and they get it that way?
No, you actually use
Okay.
the same UNC, but what you do on the different locations is you use DNS to resolve that same exact name, but to different hosts.
Okay, so I don't have to change the...
Nope. So the
Okay.
repository is going to be the same, but so when the client goes out, the client pulls that, checks DNS. Oh, where is this at? Happens to be on this UNC path here. For
these
on this
guys.
one, it's
Okay.
on this UNC path. So you want it to resolve to the same repository name, but the actual IP address for that repository is going to be different. And then you use
DNS.
robocopy
Okay,
to
to
sync
sync
up the two. Yep.
Huh.
So that is the way. If you run into any issues with that, contact support@pdq.com, and I can provide you some documentation on how to do that. So, but yes,
learned
that's
something
totally
new today.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing.
Huh.
It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dear Lex and Brigg, I am trying to deploy BIOS updates to HP computers using a command line package. The BIOS installs fine, but it looks like the install is not sending back a success code before the reboot, which results in the package showing it failed. I set error mode to stop with success, but I was checking to see if you have a better way of doing it. Adding a sleep step did not help, just maxin' and relaxin', Chad A.
Hey, Chad. So ultimately, if you reboot a machine, if install or your BIOS update reboots your machine and it's not controlled by PDQ Deploy, we're going to lose connectivity with it.
Yep.
PDQ Deploy doesn't know to sit there and hang on and wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's, boom, lost connectivity. So from that aspect, I would probably, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, because it's definitely, if the BIOS update initiates a reboot, then it's just going to do that without us knowing, and it'll just terminate and fail. If there's a way of shutting that off in the BIOS update, I'm not sure what kind of flags are available on HP BIOS updates, if that's something that you could do like a no reboot, or if there's something like no restart, and then do it that way and then initiate a reboot, then we would be able to do that. But in the absence of that, if there's no way of doing it, then we're going
to lose connectivity.
We're going to lose connectivity. Yep.
I got to say, you're bold man. I'm scared to launch BIOS updates.
Yeah.
I just going to leave it at that. Be careful, man.
Especially this month.
So
Yeah. In fact, I'm scared to actually
Dell's
do
rolling them back.
physically on a machine anytime.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I've bricked
Brick.
a few things
Yeah.
in my life. Yeah, this was way back when, in the olden times.
Dear Lex and Brigg, if I have a set of sub-collections, is there a way to show in a report which sub-collection a computer is in? I see where to show all collections. Is it a part of? But what if I just want to show a specific collection that the computer is a member of? Thanks, Ryan J.
Okay, I think.
I got to read that one more time. You put that
Will
one
you
back
put that
up?
on the screen just one more time? Yeah. Okay, you have a set of sub-collections. So we've got a root, and we've got a set of sub-collections. So kind of like this, like the last scan,
Show all the collections it's a part of. When you say it, is the computer a part of? All the collections a computer is part of.
Yeah. So you want to show the all collections that it is a part of, but what if I just want to show a specific collection that the computer is a member of? All right. That's kind of like, that's one of those things where you're going to have to sort of like filter out what it is that you do and do not want. So for instance, you can create a dynamic collection and then is member of, I can never remember this. Chris, do you remember what this is?
It is, I think you got to, not computers, collections.
Collections.
Yeah.
There's two of them, and they're kind of confusing for me.
Member of collection is what you're looking
Member
for.
of collection,
Member of
yeah.
collection, name, contains. And then you would do this, and then you would also add
A computer filter.
Yeah, computer filter for that. Then what you could do is, actually, yeah, so you just do another group filter here, and then you could be not any, and then this is where you would put in, you want to exclude like the parent or the root collection. So you just do
Member of.
yeah, member of collection, and then that would be like your root. This would be
Chrome.
child.
Child.
Oh, and we would have that.
That worked well.
I forget that enter key, what it does. So yeah, and then you could just do the computer name contains, and then whatever. You could actually just leave it as is, And then I would actually probably almost run this as a report.
Yeah.
So what you could do is then you could run this as a report, use the same filtering. Get the computer, get the member name, and then what you could do is then you could filter, you could group by columns. So you could see like, oh, okay, so I want to exclude this. So you wouldn't even necessarily need to have it like a not any. Excuse me, but you would have but you could do it so that you just group it by that. You could see all the members of whatever it is that computer's a member of, and then just exclude whatever it is that you wanted, and then you could actually fine-grain the filter from there. I hope that answers the question, because
And then when you're done with that report, you can always create a collection from the report. It'll just pull the filters over for you.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
but
So that's how I would.
if we understood that right, that's how
Yeah, if we understood it right. That would be one way. Chris, do you have anything to add on that one?
I apologize.
Big sigh.
I was focusing on something else internally here, but with the
Bueller.
question, yeah, this
Bueller.
is my bad.
So we're going to go with
Specifically.
nothing to add on that, huh?
No, I was still thinking on the previous question because Shane had chimed in for the one on the BIOS updates.
Yeah.
Talking about just launching it asynchronously using like a command step and start program. You can do it with PowerShell as well with the start process.
no.
Yeah.
Just to kick it off, you won't get any feedback just because it's asynchronous. You'll just say, go, do your thing. And then, in that case, maybe a sleep step could work because you're just giving it an appropriate amount of time, 5, 10 minutes, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
And then you
point.
just don't care about what happens, and you can do it that
And
way.
that's-
So, sorry, I got distracted.
No, you know what?
That's good.
I love that because
That's
there's
good.
so many different ways to, skin that.
Yep.
So,
And we got to put you on the spot, and you answered a question. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
all right. And
Dear Lex and Brigg, is it possible I've missed this before, but is there a way to deploy certificates? Are there some types you can't deploy at all? Thanks, Mary M.
PDQ.com. Deploy. You type like me now.
Oh, yeah. That's so bad.
Certificates.
The certificates. I can spell stuff. Can I install certificates to address root? Yep. And you do it with the cert util.
There you go.
Right there. Cert util. Boom. That's it. It's pretty nice. Right?
And what did you search on again so it comes up easy for?
Oh, PDQ.com. Deploy certificates. That's it. And then that'll bring you to our KB. Or you can go to our support site and then put that in there as well in search term. That'll come up. But yeah.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And it is very easy. And the cert util is excellent. Have you used it a lot?
No, you know, I haven't. I try not to touch those things.
Yeah. Certificates are kind of one of those things.
It's one of those things, it's like, leave it to the person in charge of them, let them do it.
Yeah.
And would you do this for me? Yes.
Yeah, because we had to set up a whole entire certificate infrastructure. Anyway, yeah. So it was.
It's a great tool.
Yep. Great tool. Use that.
Cool.
And-
What else?
Dear Lex and Brigg.
Oh,
That's a great.
Wait, this is the one. Hang on. Hang on, people.
Oh wait. There was a second part to that question. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Are there some
oh.
types of certificates that you can't deploy at all? Not that I know of. So long as they conform to the normal certificate,
yeah.
that you should be able to deploy them, and you can actually put them into any folder that you want. So trusted root, and then there's the what are some of the other ones, Chris? I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I need to pull it up and
Yeah.
actually remember. I don't do that often.
third party certificates. You don't need to pull
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Third party certificates, things like that. So yeah, you can actually place them wherever you want. But so long as they conform to normal certificate files, you should be fine.
Yeah.
And those are pretty. That's all standard.
Dear Lex and Brigg, is there any updated info on migrating PDQ Inventory and Deploy central server, databases, and repositories to a new server, or is it the same as the standalone? Thanks in advance, Christian R.
There's really not any updated info because it is the same as the standalone. There are ways of migrating an existing PDQ installation or inventory installation to central server, but once it's already in central server mode, it's pretty much basically the same as the standalone. You just move the server somewhere else. With the one caveat, of course, being that you would need to reconnect the clients up to the server.
Yeah,
the new
the
server.
new server. Now,
instance.
I will say this, and this was a question I was talking to some people about this week. If you've got multiple local sessions, right,
Yep.
and you're going to do a central server, pick the one with the most.
Yeah.
So you have the least amount of work to do, and then you would export your collections and your reports or your deployments that you built up to the central server, import them, make sure obviously the install files are in the repository, and you've actually migrated then that way too. So
And I think, did Colby include some links in the chat? For
Yes,
that?
he did.
All right,
Excellent.
Perfect. All right.
Do we want to put those on the
Bonus
bonus
content?
content?
bonus
Yeah.
content,
Yeah.
that'd be a great place for that.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, is that Colby right there? That's Colby.
Go, Colby.
All right.
Dearest Lex and Brigg, why has Google Chrome package been updated in Deploy, but the inventory collections have not been updated? Phil A.
Cuz.
Yeah.
I can take that question.
Hit it, Chris.
So this is something that I work with here at PDQ.com. So that process, that they're done usually back to back. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a space between them, and also it can be your environment. We only sync collection library about every 2 hours or so, and you might need to do a manual sync if there's something that happens, on your network that kind of forbids that from going on at that very moment. So try to do a manual sync for the collection library if you're not seeing that being updated, because it should be. We as soon as I saw that question, we had an instant panic mode and went, oh my goodness, is this actually updated? And we verified that it actually is. So I think it might be just something specific to your environment.
So yeah, just so you know, there's a 2 hour, I put 3 fingers up. It's a 2 hour, 2 hours
Yeah.
on that resync. So
Exactly, and we have a pretty good process to kind of like 3 different checks and balances we have in place to make sure that stuff like this doesn't fall through the crack. Doesn't mean it won't, and if it does, please let us know. Contact our solutions group here. So,
but the other thing you can do, shut down and restart inventory, and on the restart, it goes out and checks.
yeah, absolutely.
And what about F5?
F5.
You're going to need to manually sync this one. There's certain things that happen in the background when you do a console, like a UI refresh. I do not recall, and please, if anybody on the chat can correct me, please do, but I believe the collection library sync does not happen when you hit F5 to refresh.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
Guys, good to know. I
Yeah.
learned something.
Yay.
But-
And knowing's half the battle.
Yay!
Thanks, G.I. Joe.
Teehee.
My little star. Good morning,
Dear
little
Lex
star.
and Brigg, I have a scheduled package that performs wake on LAN for a group of physical machines that we back up. However, I get occasional name not found failures. Is there a way to have the package use the last known IP when this happens? Thanks in advance, Don W.
Okay, so to do wake on LAN, you got to have the MAC address. So you got to have inventory.
Yep.
Okay. Inventory scan, the last scan. I mean, if we've got one that hasn't been scanned in 7 days, it's still got the MAC address,
Yep.
right? So it's going to launch from whatever's there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm trying to think. Is there?
Is this a DNS issue?
I would DNS, DHCP
Yeah.
registration,
Yeah,
some
I'd almost say that
scavenging.
there's
maybe
something, there's
Yeah.
something there, something wrong with DNS or yeah. No, it's DHCP because
Go ahead.
essentially, host not found or does not exist. You've got the MAC address, so that's everything's fine, but it's not able to contact that. There's no association between the MAC address and an IP address. So using the last known IP address, no, because the last known IP address would be whatever it's going to pull that from DNS, so it is a DNS issue. Okay, that was a long process of going through of why it's always DNS, but it's my assumption anyway. That's a DNS issue.
This won't help with the MAC address, but if you've got DNS issues and they're not scavenging quick enough, you can test multiple addresses, so you can check that under networking on your preferences. But again, you got to have the proper MAC address for a wake on LAN.
Yeah, you do. And I mean, and let's assume that you do have that proper MAC address, but there is something that's not quite, and you're using DHCP. There is a setting that you can use in DHCP to on either the scope or the server to change that so that it's always going to register and always will have the updated IP address. And it's just right-click properties, the DNS tab, and then always require the client basically to do that.
I'm impressed you have that in your mental Rolodex, my friend.
just
Right-click properties.
Properties, the DNS tab, and then yes, that's basically is requiring all the client computers to register. And that'll be that automatically. Then at that point, your DNS will update if they switch over to a different network or anything like that, where they get the DHCP. That would be my answer.
Just for the record, Lex calling out that Brigg, I can't believe you knew that answer. I'm pretty sure Brigg might be a partial physical manifestation of DNS itself.
Probably.
So just throwing it out there.
Yep, it feels like DNS.
I know, doesn't it?
Is your finger touch resolving properly?
It is. Hey, there's Brigg. Check it out.
Soft and gooey and hard to understand. That's me.
I got nothing, man. Well played, sir.
All right.
Well played.
Oh, great Master Brigg. What is your recommendation to fix DNS issues if business reasons prohibit us from using DHCP to update DNS and rely on the clients to do it themselves? Thank you so much in advance, Patrick H.
Oh, business reasons. Okay. Business reasons.
Dear DNS guru.
Really, the only thing that I would recommend is set an exceptionally aggressive scavenging schedule. That's
Okay, how exceptionally aggressive would you go?
well,
Because it's a balancing act.
so exceptionally aggressive. Very aggressive would be 1 day, no refresh interval, a couple of hours for the refresh interval. Maybe you could do another day for a refresh interval, and then the scanning.
I was just noticing your
scavenging.
eyebrows and my eyebrows both went up in a couple of hours.
yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and then scavenging, you could do that like within a day because it doesn't really matter, because that's just the interval, the scavenging interval. You could do this in hours. It used to not be an option, but now Microsoft has decided to make it an option where you could do it in hours.
Again, eyebrows went up. You do it in hours?
You could. So
You
exceptionally
could.
aggressive would be hours. Exceptionally aggressive. That would be something that you would want to try out first. How would you do that? How would you
How
test
would you
that out
try
first?
that out? Yeah, I'm like,
You could actually create like a. How would you do that? Yeah, you could do it. You could do just create a zone and add some machines to it. Yeah,
so what
just
would happen? Okay, if I set it to hours, what would happen?
Well, because you're no refresh interval, so a client only refreshes itself once every 24 hours.
Okay.
So, or every time that it's supposed to, every time that it gets a new IP address or new information. So, what you could do is by setting that by hours, if it's doing that, it's like, oh, okay, well, I haven't heard from you in this interval of time. Therefore, now we're going to go to the refresh interval. Oh, I didn't hear from you in those 3 hours. Now we're going to go to the scavenging period. So
Okay.
if nothing happens within those within that period, it's just going to automatically scavenge. It's going to assume that the client hasn't done that. You're basically forcing the client to you're just deleting it. And then once the client sends in a packet, pray that the client actually is like, oh, and I'm still
Praise
here.
the major word there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So-
Chris is over here just laughing. He's like, I got something.
Yeah, so two things. One is Shane actually chimed in on the chat and said,
good.
my first answer to that DNS process question would probably have included the words workplace and violence.
Yes.
But in follow-up to that, I was Nate was talking to me over chat here. He said that he's familiar with a registry key that you can add to force clients to do a DNS update on logon.
Oh,
Like when
wow.
a client
Oh,
actually
nice.
logs on. And so he's going to see if he can go find that right now. We'll post the chat, maybe bonus content. But if that's also an option, we don't know your business environment.
Yeah.
This might be something in addition to the hours scavenging. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm still wide-eyed and
I've actually
Your
tested-
eyebrows are still up, too.
I've actually
Yeah.
I've tested it. Works great.
That's
Don't
good.
do it.
It works great. Don't
do it. Well, test it first. Test it. See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be aware of what you're doing.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just was.
No,
You do it.
I just love the way you explain it, man. You're totally into DNS, man.
I love it.
You understand it better than anyone I've ever met, man.
One of these
Dear
days we're good.
Lex and Brigg, is there a way to set a deployment schedule so that it doesn't attempt to install after a specified time? Thanks, Kevin K.
Basically,
We're
like kind of
talking like a date or a time.
like a maintenance window.
Oh, a maintenance window.
Yeah.
Like, do this until Valentine's Day and then don't do it anymore, or
Yeah. I mean, so we have.
go ahead. I'm gonna.
Okay.
No,
if we
go
go to
ahead.
try schedule here. What we do have is we do have a trigger, and then we just set like a weekly trigger. We have a start and we have an ending on that. So we don't. Let's see. So we have starting and an ending. But as far as doing this, and
Shane,
there
if you're watching, man, chime in if you know
Yeah,
something.
there was one
points in the
way-
right direction.
we did this in a particular way about how we had it. Basically, like we configured a maintenance window for that. Chris, do you remember? Do you have any insight into that?
Stop deploying
Yeah.
to targets remaining.
like Lex is getting there right now.
Yeah.
Is what I would have used
Okay.
is right there. Stop deploying to remaining.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, good. Oh, good.
So we launch it at 9. We want it to stop by 6. So I got to start doing math.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's hard.
Once you figure that out, maths are tough, huh, Chris?
Look
put that-
around you.
You put that many minutes in.
Thank
and
you,
it will-
Chris.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's if they're
Okay.
queued, but if there's one still running, it's just going to continue. Am I saying that right, Chris?
Said again, I was still
Okay,
yes.
referencing
so
that video.
after 120 minutes, anything that's queued is going to stop, but if there's ones that are still running,
Correct. That is
They will
correct.
finish.
So if you
Okay.
have a package that has a sleep step of infinity, it's going to keep on running.
okay.
Please don't set sleep steps to infinity. I don't think it goes that high.
It doesn't go that high. There's a limitation.
Bad juju there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so
Ah,
it's on the options tab in your schedule,
Yep.
and get a calculator
Yep.
if you're like me.
It's just 60. 60.
That's 1 hour, man, but come on.
It's
From
like just-
9 in the
it's
morning
like-
to 6. How? 60 times
Nine-
what?
9 o'clock in the morning. till
9
6.
at night.
Oh, 9 at night until 6 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's 9 times 6. That's what? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. See,
Yeah.
he doesn't know either. All right, get a
At least
calculator.
100.
It's a lot.
54.
It's a lot of minutes.
Oh, great, Lex and Brigg. I'd like to set up a dynamic collection to capture any computers that do not currently have a logged in user. That is all. Your pal, Brad.
Right. Okay.
I like that look.
Okay.
So,
All right.
that's 3 okays and an all right?
Yeah. I'm thinking. Those are my crutch words. So I'm just thinking.
Actually,
Are you just getting my word there?
I just pulled yours, yeah.
Actually, that's my
where-
word.
So,
Actually.
logged
User,
on
user, logged on user. What are the things?
Current logged on user, probably under C.
See. There we go.
Current user.
Oh, there we go.
Contains, would that be null?
I'm just going to do not any, contains, and we're just going to do
Splat.
matches expression.
Yeah, just while you guys are doing that, just remember that this
I don't even
also
know.
means that current user might not be current, depends when you scan.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we're going to create that, and then you need, as soon as you scan it, then it'll update the membership collection.
Yeah, it's only as recent as your last scan.
Chris, do our splats also include null?
That is a good question. I do not know that.
Should we
for
find
a
out?
fact.
Let's find out.
Oh, look at that.
That worked well.
Oh, matches pattern.
Matches pattern. There
Yes.
you go.
Rookie mistake. And we all did it.
There it is. Oh, M. Alphabet.
There we go. I know alphabet is hard. Typing is hard. Alphabet is
Math's
hard.
hard.
Math is hard.
Apparently, we don't have any of that.
We don't have any. Unless that does include null values, which it probably does. So you could actually just do matches expression, and then we just do a little thing. Up. A through E. And then what is it? What's the operand? Is it just a comma for separated values and a regex?
Something like that.
Oh, here we go.
I always have to reference a little.
Well, let's just assume that it's
So that
going to
little
be one
caret
of
does
those.
not contain, right? Or starts.
It starts with A, B, or capital A and B.
Not any. Okay, good point. There we go.
No, we're still not getting anything. There we go.
I don't think that's what we wanted.
Oh yeah, because we still got current user here.
Yep.
Yep. So we're not supposed to get that.
Hmm.
Computer user not any.
Chris, any ideas on the
Yeah.
pattern we put in for that?
Without fiddling with it, it's one of those
Yeah.
things that I can't do unless I have like my cheat sheet next to me, looking at it
Absolutely.
and doing. I do this all the time in PowerShell for .NET stuff, but I have to muddle my way through it. I always mess up.
So that's how you do it, but you stump the chumps on
Your,
the
oh,
expression.
Hold on.
Bracket-
Just
your
give me one
brackets aren't
second. Give me one
matching.
second. Give me one
Right?
second.
Oh, you gonna do
Your
it?
brackets,
Oh, that's the wrong bracket.
yeah,
Aha.
they're a little off.
Maybe.
There we go.
Could it be?
I don't think there's a pipe. I think
I don't
it's
need
a
the,
comma.
yeah,
Let's try that.
I don't think you need the mic.
We should see this one go away. Again, that should go away.
Also, for the record, Colby has another suggestion where
Okay.
current user equals don't enter a value.
Okay.
So the easy
We'll make it
way-
easy, Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Colby.
Gosh, I guess look bad. That ain't
Yeah.
hard.
No, it's not hard at all.
We'll roll with it.
Or you just use your regular expressions. It's
Yeah,
fine.
if you know how to use them.
Yeah.
Apparently we don't.
Clearly we don't.
Oh no, we did. That's gone.
Oh, you did? No.
No, never mind.
All right.
You know what I'm going to do?
Go
I'm
with
just gonna-
Colby's way.
Go with Colby's way. Yep, that's the one that works. Yep, mine. No, unless you like regular expressions, I do.
Let's show
Clearly.
that. What can we do that?
Let's do that,
Computer
yeah.
current user equals and then just
Okay.
enter no value. I want to
You're in
see
deploy.
this
Get it
work.
back to
That's
inventory.
that's
bro.
right, inventory.
Time out. You don't want us to leave that one on a we can't do it note?
Ideally, yes. Especially since this includes me. And I'm like, no.
Current user name?
Current user
Current user contains
equals that.
and leave blank.
Yep,
All
just
right.
leave it blank. Let's see. There we go.
Look, it's magic. Thanks, Colby.
Thanks, Colby.
Collectively smarter than the three of us.
Yes. All right.
Apparently, we're going to end on a high note.
Yes,
can
we
do
are.
that. Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
I got to brush up on my regular expressions.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm like Chris. Takes me a
Yeah.
while.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.
Yes,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
watching.
And catch all our other videos at pdq.com.
Yep, and carry on.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations to Patrick H. and Chad A., winners of PDQ Swag. Also, Roger J., winner of our PDQ Vintage Floppy Coaster. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. And don't forget, PDQ.com is hiring, looking for a product expert engineer and a front-end engineer. Just look for the information on pdq.com/jobs. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.